you know it's not young male, but when it come in,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. You're like, yeah, okay, right, magazine,
right.
you know, and someone else thread over there, you know, get to it 6 months from now. So
Yeah, in fact, what we were going to do is also follow it up with a phone call. In fact, it says that in the letter itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just have one question. Can you maybe explain how the church ministry relates to women? Because when the preacher talks on Sunday morning, he talks to both male and female. As we might hear the same message, they might, being the male, pick up the message different, you know. And have you ever presented it to the church in that aspect? Because your magazine is for women, and the church sometimes addresses women issues, or most of the time. We have a lot of famous Anita Byam and other ministers that mostly geared towards women. And maybe if we were able to present it that way, it might be a little bit more effective.
Right, which is why I was saying that I wanted to also introduce it to the head of the women's ministry.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I used to be the head of a women's ministry, so I know that it would probably have come to me. So that's why I'm thinking absolutely you'd want to go that route. Yeah.
Let me, since it is a women's magazine, and we talk about health and fitness so much today, you know. High blood pressure and stuff, and people eating themselves all into it and everything. I'm not trying to sound male chauvinist, and I hope that the listeners don't take it that way, because I'm not. Should the women go back to cooking again like they used to years ago? Should that be a part of, or is that part of the structure of building the family and building the Christian life?
Well, I'm assuming, of course, that you're speaking of married women. I think within the context of our society today, things are definitely not like they were back in biblical times.
Well, I'm not going back that far. I'm going back to the 1940s, 30s, or 40s, 50s,
but
and 60s.
You know what? Thank you for saying that. But they aren't even the same back as they were then. I mean, times have definitely changed. You've got things are so much more expensive, and therefore you need the two-parent income.
Sure.
And so I think, you know, there was a time when I would have thought that I wouldn't have minded staying home if I were married and I want to cook and so on and so forth. But I think being that you have both parents, or even if they don't have children, but both are working, most times you have both people who are working, I don't think that there's a problem sharing things such as cooking, the housework and such. I'm telling you the truth, I never understood it myself. If I'm working and my husband's working, I never understood why I should be the one to come home and clean the house and do all the cooking. I don't understand that. I think it should be a shared responsibility. I certainly do. Because the Lord said that she is a helpmeet. It didn't say that she's the maid. Oh, I know it might get controversial now.
But I hear that. You know, I hear that a lot today, and I just wonder, because my sermon that I do on Sunday, I talked about that. I think on Thanksgiving for half an hour. In fact, I talked about it on Town Talker, because we done a tape for Town Talker, and I talked about that, and just wondering, it's like, where are we going from here? You know what I mean? Because I see it like an invasion of good upbringing. I see there's an invasion today where we don't take the time to nourish, which is the body. Like that right now, my body is in pain, my lower back. And it's something when you have to crawl out of bed, you know, or when you standing up and you have to go down, you have to fall down, because you know you realize the strength and the quality of what this thing called body is. You know, you understand about body mechanics and all that, because everything's slowed down. And I'm just going. I'm going there because, and I know it's a dangerous area for whatever reason it is. I don't think that it's dangerous because of us. I think it's dangerous because of what's been portrayed of it. Because no one is going to tell me that good, wholesome eating and cooking and things is not godly, because it gives you strength. You need great nourishment, you know. We are suffering today in in not only the African American community, but in all the communities today, of the diabetes thing, you know, the heart thing, and all these obesity. You know, years ago we didn't have enough money to feed the kids. But today we don't know when to tell the kids not to eat. You understand? You know, it's a whole lot of.
Can I help you with that?
Go ahead. I
think that we should be concerned about what is put into our bodies. Our bodies are a temple of God. If your body is a temple of God, you ought to have reverence for your body. You ought to know what to put into your body. Now, I say that to say this. It is better that you eat healthy foods, foods that will fuel your body in place of junk food. When I say fuel your body, instead of having a Happy Meal, pick up an apple, pick up an orange, pick up salad, pick up wholesome things that you know.
Well, let me say this right here. Can we really do it that way? Can we?
Yes.
Can we not have what we used to call home economics? I believe in the family anymore. Can we survive that way? Because you know, unless we can afford a cook, then who is taking care of that?
But you know what? Let me just go back for a minute, because your question started out as far as whether or not the woman should still be cooking and such.
Right.
That's what now if you're talking about just health issues, which is one of the things that Flow magazine covers, we have a wellness section that's written by Tamara Mingo, and she's always talking about healthy eating, a healthy lifestyle, period. Exercise as well as food. That is a choice that now if you're just switching over just to healthy living and forgetting aside who's doing the cooking.
Role.
Yes,
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm not stereotyping.
I'm not saying
No, we just want to go forward.
Yeah.
We were gonna have to do this.
We'll
Keep
pick
that,
up there
pick up that another time. Give me a minute of waiting the water if you can.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. If you don't believe I've been redeemed, follow me down to the Jordan stream. Stepped in the water was cold. It chilled my body, but not my soul. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
Oh, here you go. We got Zechariah. Got to wrap it up. Town Talker. This is Reverend Zechariah Jackson, and it was good to have Yvonne Jefferson, Flow magazine, Christian magazine. May God be with you. Keep hope alive.